Don't brainwash, we died for that same cost. Took away believing that we ain't lost. Brother, I'm an Israelite. Sinners won't pray, no. The robber Lincoln shit tonight. Praises to the Most High. I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe up, going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Want to be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim. Homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms. Never getting treatment, something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't there, we don't dream of life. Reporting live from hell, Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of an Israelite, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play lines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting our adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love they reflection, no matter what the complexion. We got a common connection.
Go to Messenger.
God's intellection.
Let's go to Messenger on there.
Resurrection through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice.
No, it didn't go to your phone. It's in Messenger.
Days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of an Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Okay, I think you're gonna have to.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai Mashiach Christ and fall up under that U.P.K. banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
No, I'm saying get the setup back, make sure the Facebook fill up.
It's all about that warfare, boy. So just take breath till I'm stand up. Take breath, take breath, take breath, take breath, take breath, take breath, take breath. My soul just take breath till I'm stand up. Take breath, take breath, take breath. Now this ain't no it's a take that. We would not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem, tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour plays. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him to let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race to make merchandise out of my abuse. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it.
Good.
Niggas not hard,
All right, let's go.
who gon' bite the bullet?
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai Barakatham, and all the brothers, Yahweh Shemalathun, Ba'Shem Yahshai, all the sisters. This is I.S.U.P.K, Indianapolis. You already know what it is. 1 West 125th Street, under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. We bring this truth out every week. And this week is going to be especially evil with what's going on this weekend. right? All you good Christians gonna run out, you know what I'm saying? Claiming you believe the Bible, you gonna run out and take your kid trick-or-treating. Right. The problem is you don't really stand for nothing, right? Christians, they don't believe in nothing. They believe in, you know, this. Well, I think it'll be all right. I feel like God know my heart, and He know that I don't believe in that evil. Right. Well, today we're gonna get a little bit into the history, right? So our people know right from wrong, right? We got to know as a people what's right and what's wrong. That's the whole, you know, that's what it's all about. If we knew what was right and what was wrong, we wouldn't be in, you know, be in this captivity today. We wouldn't be in a land where Edomites, you know, can rape, rob, pillage, and just, you know, murders when they feel like it. Right. Where they create legislation and say, you know what, y'all niggas don't deserve no housing. Y'all don't deserve good education. Y'all don't deserve healthy food. You know what I mean? Only thing y'all deserve is to be hunted down in the streets like the animals you are. Right. That's why we need to learn. The Bible is our moral compass. Right? Not taught to you as a Christian, though. When you're a Christian, you believe that your feelings are your moral compass, right? Whatever lust that you have, you're like, well, I know the Lord gonna forgive me for it. I'm gonna do it anyway. That's what Christians do. But in the I.S.U.P.K, we don't do that. We don't fall, you know, we're not victims of our lust. We don't let our lust control us. We let the will of God control us. Right. Under these laws, statutes, and commandments. So let's get a little bit on the history, right? We're gonna get into a little bit of the history of how Halloween started, and I'm gonna try to follow along because I'm gonna have you skip down some parts. You're not gonna read the whole article. Come. All right. So let's start. Now this is, you know, we going to the historychannel.com, but really you can find the history of Samhain on many sites. Right, but this is I just go to this site because they got, you know, pretty much you know, a background on damn near everything. Now, is it all factual when pertaining to us? No, you know what I'm saying. They'll still have black people as Africans on there, right? Obviously, so the world don't want the, you know, the history of the real, you know, the biblical Israelites to come out. The world don't want that history. Nobody wants that except the I.S.U.P.K. Right, okay. Like that's something that the world will never, you know, accept. Damn sure won't accept it coming from a black man. Right. But it's something that they're going to have to accept because it's coming out. It's a scripture in Revelations. I believe it's in Revelations. I'm paraphrasing. And it says something about the earth. The earth is going, I'm going to find it. The earth shall yield something, or basically the earth is going to help the woman. Right. So the analogy in Revelation is the woman being Israel. Right. It says the earth is going to help the woman. And that means we're going to get the scripture real quick and then we're going to get into the history. Let me find that. The earth shall help the woman. Revelations 12 and 16. Let's get that. Okay. Hold on, let me get there too so I can follow along. You have to let me know if we got any questions for him. All right, let's get it.
Revelations chapter 12 and 14.
16.
Oh, slack. Oh, slack. And the earth helped the woman.
Right. So you read up earlier, and the Bible is talking about a woman, right? And that woman, the analogy is the woman is the nation of Israel, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And you talk about, you know, this whole thing is a vision. John the Revelator, he's having a revelation, a vision. He's seeing this great beast, right? He's seeing this, you know, the might of the, you know what I'm saying, Edom, right? Their army, their military might, their government. And he has this woman that, you know, is being harmed by this beast, right? But in 16, it's saying the earth is going to help the woman, right? And so when you look, what does that mean? It's talking about the things found within the earth. Like there's going to be more and more archaeology that comes up, more and more history that comes up that's uncovered. The earth is going to help by opening up and presenting these things to the world, right? So Esau is not going to be able to hide, you know, who the Jews are, who the real Jews are, who are the biblical Israelites. Like you look at Captain Katazai's lecture on the 12 tribes. I mean, it's already a ton of archaeology out there that's not taught in public schools. It's not, you would never hear any of this stuff. You be lucky to hear about Black Wall Street. Right. You're gonna hear about Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King. I don't know, that's Black history right there. Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King. Maybe Frederick Douglass, maybe. Right, but you ain't gonna hear about Nat Turner or, you know what I'm saying, Toussaint Overture, however you pronounce it. You're not gonna hear about the slave revolt in Haiti. You're not gonna hear about the archaeology of the Jews being Black. All this information, you got to come to the Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge to get any of this. Don't get it secondhand either. Don't go somewhere to some fake Israelite group, you know what I mean, and get secondhand information. Get firsthand information. Get it where it started from. All right, get the rest of that. Come. Revelation 16.
Come. And the earth opened her mouth.
Right, the earth opened up and was, you know, all this information is going to come out. Keep going.
Come. And swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
So, Kompar, based on that analogy, what would you say the flood is coming out of the dragon's mouth?
Well, I'd say like maybe the lies.
That's exactly right. The lies, the propaganda, all the nonsense. Here's a lie. Yahweh or Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? Or the Jews over there now, the real Jews. That's a lie.
Right.
You understand? Or his image. That's a lie. Or even take it down, you know, specifically about us. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are lazy murderers, you know, good for nothing people. Right? That's a lie. We the chosen people of the Lord.
Right.
You understand? All those lies gonna be swallowed up. Pretty soon it'll be a time where we're gonna be looked at like, oh, we told y'all.
Right.
And now you gotta pay because you didn't want to listen. They're gonna pay anyway. Even if they did listen, they was gonna pay, but they damn sure gonna pay. Right. All right. So that's it on that. I just wanted to get that scripture real quick. All right, let's get into some history, right, of Halloween, because it's important. Like, we got to start with the small things. Like, especially if you're new to the truth, let me give you some encouragement. If you're new to the truth, don't come into the truth thinking that you're gonna, you know, get everything right on day one. You just not. You know, it's gonna be stuff that you don't even know that you got to do. You understand? Like, you don't know everything that's unlawful yet. You don't know everything. You don't know how to be. I can't say this with 100%, right? But a lot of people gonna come in and they're not gonna understand how to be brotherly because no one's ever been brotherly to them. No one's ever shown them how to be a brother or a sister to another, right? So these are things that you're gonna have to come in and learn. It's not gonna be, you know, 100%. You come in, you walk through the door, and then you're ready 100%, right? You doing everything that you're supposed to be. No, you got to come in here and be taught, right? You got to come in here and learn, which is why it's so important to get in these classes. Like, I know personally, when I learned about school, I watched so many videos. You know, I watched catch classes, then I watched videos for hours, just hours and hours. My rib thought I was crazy, right? Because you go through this you go through this transformation of being somebody who kind of believe in a little something to somebody who's like damn near. I see why they say that's a cult, because you damn near get addicted to it. You start learning this information, you're like, what?
Right.
It's addictive. You sit up there and watch YouTube videos for hours. You know what I mean? But that's what's glorious about this truth, because the truth literally does make you free.
Come.
You understand? I'm free from so many things that I thought that I had to do, or so many ways I thought that I had to act. Now I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm Israelite. I'm chosen people of the Lord. Now I know exactly what I'm free from all this BS that I thought I had to do in the world. Now I know exactly what I need to do. You understand? We got any questions?
No, sir.
All right, let's go with that. Let's go with that article, right? Oh no, I was saying, Salaki, I was saying we don't, like we get jammed up. We got to start with the little things. Here's something little, right? It's an easy thing. Here's something small that you can do this weekend. The 31st, right? 10/31/2020. This is something easy that you can do to start serving the Lord, right? If you, like I said, if you new to the truth, you new to the I.S.U.P.K, which is the home of the truth, the only truth, right? You learn from somebody else. You don't have the truth. We have the truth, right? Something small that you can. You cannot serve Satan. That's what you can do. You cannot send your kids to trick or treat. You cannot, decorate your house. You can, not pass out candy. It's something small, but it's going to be a good first step for some of you Christians in the world, right? It'll be a good first step for you to say, you know what? That's a pagan holiday. Right. It's against the Bible. The Most High does not want me to celebrate anything pagan. He gave me days to celebrate. Right. And so I encourage anybody that's not in the school already to take that first step and say, you know what, this holiday, I'm not going to do it. And then here's the thing. It'll give you momentum into a wicked holiday, Thanksgiving, which is the celebration of the slaughter of Native Americans. Right. You understand? And then even more, and then it's going to keep going. You got Christmas after that, right? Which is another pagan holiday. That's also a lie. Christ was not born in December 31st or whatever Christmas, the 25th, right? And you got the New Year, the so-called New Year in the dead of winter, which is not when things are new. It's when things are still dead. That's not the start of a year. Not a biblical year, but according to Esau, that's cool. You do it because you live in this society. We we slaves in this captivity, and so we got to go by their calendar. But just know that's not the start of the new year. And then it just keeps going. Valentine's Day, and you just cycle all again every year practicing these these pagan holidays. So make this your first step. I challenge all you Christians who want to actually serve the Lord, make this your first step to truly serve the Lord, man. Don't celebrate this wicked pagan holiday. Right. Furthermore, you're going to help cripple this economy. Like, you know how much candy they sell during Halloween? This is the biggest candy time of the year. Candy makers, you can cripple them. We can bring this empire down. Right. People at home listen to me like I'm crazy. Why would you want to cripple the economy? You live here. Listen, this is not my rest. That's what the scriptures say. The scriptures say this is not your rest. Right. Meaning this, you shouldn't be trying to establish, your home in this kingdom. This is a wicked empire. You looking to, build up this nation and be a part of America. You're not a part of America. You understand? Okay. The Bible says this is not your rest. Let's get that before I keep rambling.
Okay. Samhain is a pagan religious festival originating from an ancient Celtic spiritual tradition.
You can read it a little faster.
Okay. In modern times, Samhain, a Gaelic word pronounced Samhain, is usually celebrated from October 31st to November 1st.
All right, so now this is the first insight into that date. All right, so Halloween is obviously October 31st, right? Every year, October 31st. Now we get a little history of something called Samhain, right? Right. And this was also celebrated October 31st to November 1st. Now, let's keep going.
Okay. To welcome in the harvest.
To welcome in the what?
To welcome in the harvest.
Right. So this is another thing that you'll learn about history as you go through. You read, you can even do some research about Baal, right? In the Bible, you hear that name, you see that name in the Bible, Baal. Like, people worship the sun, people worship the moon, people worship the harvest, right? Because they believe if you worship those things, you would have a good harvest. You would have plenty to eat, right. Which was, a primary concern back in the day. You got to think, there was not always production lines of food. You couldn't just run into the supermarket. It's a supermarket, damn near, every 2-3 miles. Like, a market was a major thing in the city. It's like, that's where commerce happened. Right. But here, we got commerce all over the place. As long as you got a few bucks, you can get you something to eat. But there, if you had a hard winter, it could be the difference between, life or death. And so pagan people, even Israelites at some different points would pray to, false gods, the wind, the earth, the harvest season, the sun, the rain, all these things. You look at the history of Islam. They had 365 gods, one for every day of the year. Today is a different God. Let me pray for him. Today's a different God. Let me pray. Different day, different God. Right. And all these things, they come from paganism, right? Which you as an Israelite, there's only one, right? We got to get that Deuteronomy 4:6 real quick. Is it 4:6? I think it's 4:6. Let's get that real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Mm-hmm. Keep, therefore, and do them.
No, that's not it. Hold on 1 second. Six and 4.
Okay.
6 and 4.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Right. So he is the only one.
Right.
There's no God of the wind. There's no God of the sun. There's no God of the moon. There's no harvest God. There's nothing that you can pray to that's going to make, your crops grow. If you ain't, asking, Yahweh.
Right.
You understand? So these pagan people, heathens, they would do this all the time because they didn't receive, the God of the Bible. Right. They didn't receive him. The Israelites received him. Right. He said that he would be our people. Right. We would be his people and he would be our God. Right. But he didn't make that covenant with any of these heathen nations.
Right.
All right. So let's get back to where we was in our
article. And usher in the dark half of the year. Celebrate. Believe that the barriers between the physical world and the spirit world break down during Samhain.
Samhain.
Oh, sorry.
It's pronounced Samhain.
Samhain.
Right. So here's another as to where it is, what spawned from this ancient Celtic tradition, right? Celtic holiday. They said during this time, the barrier between the living world and the spirit world were broken. What do you see on Halloween? What's the theme behind, kids dressing up?
Like I would say the
use my.
Oh, it's the worship that they say satanic.
No, not even that. What's the theme when these kids are dressed up? Yeah, what's the theme? Usually the theme. Usually. It's changed here more recently, right? Because of Marvel. Marvel, everybody want to be a superhero.
Oh,
but what do people traditionally, what was the theme of their costume?
Oh, ghosts,
scary things,
spirits and all that.
Yeah, axe murderers, those kind of things, right? And that's because this tradition, like they said, the only thing that you're going to see, say this was true. If you opened the barrier or the barrier was open from the living world and the spiritual world, you would see spirits, ghosts, right? Dead things, right? So think about the theme of Halloween and how it, got its birth and where it came from. This is starting to sound like the date lines up, right? October 31st to November 1st. And then, the whole breaking down, the barrier between the physical world and the spirit world. Well, that's only talking about the dead or spirits. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. So let's get the rest of that.
Kind of one. Allowing more interactions between humans and this.
We gotta look that up because I forgot to look that up.
Kind of the other worlds. Kind. Yeah, that sounds like rituals. Definition.
Resident. It just means a resident.
Okay.
So read it again, that part.
Kind. Allowing more interactions between humans and
residents
of the other world.
Right. So again, this is obviously right. You obviously can't see spirits. That's another Christian thing. They talk about ghosts and spirits, and they reading playing with a Ouija board and trying to talk from the other side. Listen,
Right.
They're not doing that. Christians can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Furthermore, you shouldn't do it. Right. So now we're gonna drop down a little bit because there's some more interesting information about it. Yeah, let's go down to the next section.
Come.
You good?
Come. I was just reading this one. Like this is man. I was reading like this. Look. Oh, you want me to start from the beginning?
No, to the next section.
Come. The next section of ancient
Solomon.
You want to start right there?
Yeah. What was you saying? Somebody saying something in the chat?
No, I was reading the third one paragraph right there. Where it say like usually illness or death, punishment from the gods and stuff like that.
Well, go ahead and bring it up.
Come. Early texts present Solomon as a mandatory celebration lasting 3 days and 3 nights, where the community was required to show themselves to local kings or shetons.
Or what?
Shetons, like shetons.
What section you on?
The last one.
The last section?
No, the last paragraph of the ancient Salem.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Chieftains.
I like you. Failure to participate was believed to result in punishment from the gods, usually illness or death.
Right. So they were superstitious.
Right.
Which is what we have a problem with our people to this day. Our people are even, I think it was Paul said it in the New Testament. He said, I perceive that you are superstitious.
Right.
You know that scripture? Let's get there real quick.
Come.
Acts 17 and 22.
Acts 17 and 22. Come.
You can put this precept under your, with your superstition.
Come. And if I may add one,
go ahead.
I mean, you could tell they were just doing wicked things, sacrifices.
We can get some more. Yeah, we definitely gonna get some more. So anybody that run across this video can really see, the evil behind celebrating these pagan holidays. I mean, again, it's like, okay, you look at people, especially black people. Black people love come together. I can't say that because the rest of the tribe love to come together. I just say, Israel, we love to come together and cook and eat and have a good time and drink. Like Thanksgiving, I'll say this for me personally because I'm Judah. I know in a Judite community, it's especially a big deal for Thanksgiving. Like Big Mama loved to get everybody over for that ham around the table and everybody, and we just a family, and we're gonna have a good meal. And niggas is fighting in the backyard. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like your uncles is fighting in the backyard, threatening to stab each other. Right. But like we love to come together for Thanksgiving, not knowing how unbelievably wicked it is. Like it's literally the celebration of the slaughter of our people, right? The Native Americans. And like we don't even realize how evil it is. But these holidays, all these pagan holidays have something behind it. It's not just, it's not just something that you should think about. Well, it's okay because, it don't mean anything. That's what black people do. They say, well, we just want to come. I don't care how it started. I just want my family to come together. Right. Well, that's it. We shouldn't come together on those days because they have wicked origins. Right. Go ahead.
Come. So I got the
Acts 17 and 22.
Come. Acts chapter 17, verse 22. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens.
Athens is a place in Greece.
Come.
All right. So who do you think he was talking to? Just without even reading the rest, who do you think he was talking to?
I would say Israel.
He was Paul ain't go to nobody else.
Right,
Like
right,
people will read that, they'll say, yeah, see, Paul was prophesying to the Greeks.
right.
Okay, you can say that, and that would be partially true, because just like if we had our country and if we had our homeland in Jerusalem, and some of us was dispersed, like, yeah, he was prophesying unto the Americans, but it wouldn't be talking about, Esau,
Right.
or Elamites,
Right.
or Arabs. He'd be talking to, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because you're dispersed, you're scattered throughout the world. And that's all over the scriptures. All over the scriptures. So Paul wasn't going to Athens to, hey, excuse me, Mr. Edomite, this is for you. That's not the Bible. The Bible is only for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
So you're right. He definitely was talking to Israel. Go ahead.
I just like, Americans. Oh, I'm going to talk to the Americans. You know what I'm saying? When we, Israel.
Mm-hmm.
I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious.
All right. So Paul, during that time, right? We look for certain signs, and black people, they want to play. They get into all this paganism as well. You know what I mean? And all this nonsense, these rituals that Esau is doing, and we fall victim to that nonsense too, and we become superstitious. When really what we should do is just serve the Lord.
Right.
You want something? You want a miracle in your life? Serve the Lord, then pray for it. You'll get a miracle.
Right.
You understand? Serve the Lord. Come help raise up your people in the I.S.U.P.K. You get a miracle. You get a nigga off drugs, and that is a miracle.
Right.
A nigga that's been on drugs since he was 12 years old, been in and out of prison, been abused. You know what I mean? Been molested. You turn that brother, change his life around. You'll see him come in here homeless, and in the span of 3 to 5 years, or even less than that, he has a family, he has a home. You know what I mean? You bring sisters in here that was whores in the world, and you see that she changed their ways. And listen, a brother take her and she'd be brand new and be a daughter of Zion.
Right.
You understand? That's a miracle. Go ahead. You was gonna say something?
Khan, we got a few questions. Otherwise,
go ahead. Lay them on.
Okay, Khan. Edomite Slayer. Is it a sin to dress in a mask and costume not on Halloween?
No, that is not a sin. You can dress up. There's costume. A costume party is not illegal or not unlawful. I said illegal. Same thing, unlawful, right? You can what is it? Romans 15:4. We gotta hold on 1 second. Let's get a scripture real quick, and then don't lose your spot on that one.
Okay. 17:2.
That's not it. That's not the one I want. Oh, here, I know where it's at. Hold on 1 second. Romans 4:15. That's the second time I done did that. Romans 4:15.
Okay.
Let's get that.
Romans chapter 4, verse 15. Because the law worketh wrath.
What does it mean by the law worketh wrath? What is wrath?
Angry.
Look it
Angry.
up.
Okay.
Look it up so you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody want one of these beers?
Nah.
More for me.
Right. So like wrath, extreme anger.
Right. So read it again.
Because I was like Romans chapter 4, verse 15. Because the law worketh wrath.
Right. So the law, meaning you having to receive the punishments of the law. Right. The Most High is angry about that. He doesn't want you to sacrifice your lamb of the first year unblemished. He don't want that. He don't want your lamb. He made lambs. Why the hell would he need a lamb?
Right,
you understand? Right. You sacrificing that unto him, that's not what he wants. What he wants is for us to keep the law. That's what he wants. So, when you don't keep the law, of course, that causes wrath.
Right.
Right. And if you sin enough, the Most High will kill you. The scriptures say, I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, and there is no other God with me.
Right.
None that can take you out of my hands.
Mm.
You understand? Keep going.
What kind of one? For where no law is, there is no transgression.
Read it again.
For where no law is, there is no transgression.
Break it down, Cornbread.
If it ain't no law, I mean,
it'll help if you look up transgression.
All
right. To transgress.
The definition of transgression, an act that goes against a law.
Right. So now read it again with that in mind.
For where no law is, there is no transgression.
Right. So you're not, if there's no law, you're not acting against the law. If there's no law about it, you're not acting against the law.
Right.
So you can't go into the Bible and find, this is how you always know if something lawful. Now, obviously, if you have any questions, you can add, you're not sure, definitely go to a priest, have them break it down, right? But if there's not a law against wearing a costume, then you can do it. Now, it's good that you added in your question that there was there a law, outside of Halloween, right? Because if you did it for Halloween, then it would damn sure be unlawful, right? But since you're asking about in general, can you wear a mask and dress up outside of Halloween, that's perfectly fine. I wouldn't, again, like you said, as long as it's outside of, some pagan holiday. Hey, sure. Yeah, all right, as long as it's outside that, you should be tawab because it's lawful to go to a costume party, wear a costume. I know for me personally, since my son, he doesn't participate in any of this, like a few months back, I got him a costume and he walk around in the house with it and have a ball and have fun. And
right.
He got a BB-8 from Star Wars and he got a Black Panther joint and something else. So he, that's perfectly fine and lawful for you to do that, right? Outside of, these pagan holidays.
Right.
So hopefully that answers your question. Put that one, say that precept too. That's a good precept to refer to when you want to know what's lawful and what's not. Just think of that scripture and say, okay, can I find a law against it? If I can't find a law against it, right, then you should be fine. But again, you got any questions or you're not sure about it, come to the priest, definitely. Because it's better to be, be careful about something than to be like, oh, there's no law against it, and then it's a law against it, and you're doing something evil against the Most High. Go ahead, Cornbread.
Okay, so what about fireworks? Not on the 4th of July, not on no holiday. Just regular day.
It's legal. Well, you tell me.
Just on the regular day, not on no feast day or nothing like that. Just, what I'm saying?
You tell me.
I would say Kabul Khan. Yes,
You would say it is lawful?
Kabul Khan.
It is lawful.
Kabul Khan.
It is lawful.
Kabul Khan.
There's no law against, doing fireworks. Now, you watch any of Jeremiah Hyman's classes, he's going to say, why would you do it? Blow your goddamn hand off.
Right.
So, but no, I mean, I think I pulled it out.
I think it's from the back of the one.
Okay. But no, it's definitely lawful.
Kabul Khan.
So, sometimes you might have a new building, right? I'm too. You get a new building, maybe you want to set some fireworks off on the roof. That's ain't nothing unlawful about that. But again, like you said, you prefixed it with saying, outside of these holidays, which is right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they pop right those things out every holiday.
Right. Oh, damn right.
Christmas, New Year's,
everything. Damn right.
Right.
All right. Was that it? Was there another question on there?
Oh, it's like Kabul Khan.
Go ahead.
Let me find it. Erskine Littleton. Khan, sir, I.S.U.P.K has so much information that it was unbelievable how much lies and half-truth we are taught in Esau school.
Damn right. Damn right.
Kabul Khan. It blew my mind when I first learned the truth It was just unbelievable.
Right. Hey, listen, and I think that's the sentiment that most people have when they come in here. It's like, that's why I was so addicted to videos.
Right.
Listen, the whole creation story blew my mind. I was one of those Christians that thought that Adam and Eve was the first man, even though you read it and you don't understand it.
Right.
You read it's like, well, where did these people come from? I remember asking that question when I was younger. Where did all these people come from? Right. And then I saw even so much as people saying, well, you know, it was incest. It was only a few people. It was fine. And so that's I just took it as something that I never really know. It's like a mystery of the Bible. And then you come into this school and, you know, you hear the breakdown. Well, you're like, well, goddamn, that makes sense. It makes sense.
Right.
When in the Christian church, it did not make sense. You trying to learn in the Christian church or in the Muslim mosque, whatever you read, it just don't make sense. You just go with it because that's what groupthink is.
Right.
Groupthink is a condition where people get together, and just because, you know, the majority of people think in one way, everybody else just decide, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it takes somebody who thinks outside the box to come up against that, because people hate to think differently, which is why they hate us. They hate to think that there's a people that will never love them. We say this people will never love you. You'll never have peace. You'll never vote your way out of captivity. You'll never march enough for them to love you. You'll never be able to have your kids go to school with them and be taught on the same level. There's studies that go as far as saying your mortality rate is higher if you have a white doctor than versus if you have a black doctor.
If you black, a black doctor instead of a white doctor.
Right. Your mortality rate will be higher if you have a black doctor. Think about that. That means a doctor who went to school for 8 years at least, and did a residency, making all this money, hundreds of $1,000s a year, knows all kind of, you know, intricate details about the body, is going to give less effort to save your life than he will his white counterpart.
Right.
That's horrible. That's where we live. So when we tell people that, like, these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know, Stockholm syndrome is, you know, basically what they have, and it's one big group think. Everybody says, well, you got to love everybody, but they're not loving you. So what's the point? Like, how much love you gonna give before you wake up and smell the coffee?
Right.
That love better be reserved for your people. You better reserve your love for your people. You better go that extra mile for your people and stop going that extra mile for somebody who hates your guts and can't wait to see you back in chains. That's what make America great again is. They want to make America great. In their mind, America was great when you were a slave and didn't have an opinion and didn't have a voice. Right. You sat there and they said, shut your mouth, boy. Laugh in that barrel, boy. Don't look at that white woman, boy. Get in them fields, boy. That's when America was great to them. Right. And that's what they want. Listen, we trying to show you a better way. We trying to show you that voting ain't what it's cracked up to be. We trying to show you're not gonna get those results from voting. Only thing you're gonna get is another election in 4 years. Right. That's the only thing guaranteed. You're gonna get another election in 4 years. You gotta get.
If I could, in the law class, if GEN.YAHANNA ran for president, we voted for him. Would that be too wild?
Listen, not only would it be too wild, it would be glorious. You understand? Right. We got to get that scripture real quick. You can put me on another track. Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
Come.
Real quick.
I already know you're going on one.
Most High in Christ. Let's see if Commander GEN.YAHANNA meets the qualifications.
That's right.
Let's see if he meets the qualifications to be president over blacks, Hispanics. Can you imagine that? A nigga, a real nigga that's president. A real nigga that's president. Damn. Barack Obama, he kind of had a little swag. Oh, you understand? Oh, people look at Barack Obama because he had, you know, he dressed in the suit. Normally they got those normal dark suits. He had that beige suit, and they, you know, they gave him crap for that. Then he got Michelle, she a sister, you know what I'm saying? So everybody thought he had a little swag, but he's a Hamite. He can't swag like a black man. You understand? Right. Go ahead.
So it's like, you know, Captain Monkwai, he's like, man, if they put a black man in the White House, we would have took down all the white pictures. Right. All the walls black. You know,
now listen, I didn't know he knew this because he's from Chicago, but I'm from Flint, Michigan, and we had this rapper, MC Breed. He passed a little while back. So he had a verse in one of his songs, He said, if I was the president, I would state facts. If I was the president, I paint the White House black. Ain't no future in your front. So he said that at camp. I was like, damn. You know I mean? Right. He took me back with that one. I'm like, you know about MC Breed? What do you know about him? But anyway, damn right. Let's get this real quick.
Kind one. Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
All right. So this is the condition for setting a king over you.
Right.
You understand? Like during biblical times, Israel saw the other nations, right? And they wanted a king because they didn't have a king. We didn't have a king over Israel. Israel was not united as one. King David, when he was crowned king, he battled. He killed other Israelites that they would be up under him. He unified the nation of Israel. You understand? But the first king of Israel was Saul, right? And we prayed for a king. We petitioned for a king. Go ahead.
Come. Whom the Lord thy God shall choose.
All right, so this is one. This is the first criteria. Like Commander GEN.YAHANNA has been chosen by the Most High, you understand?
Right.
He's been chosen. Listen, this is a brother who came in and learned under men, right? And held down this truth when other men left it for whatever reason. It don't matter why they left. They gone and they not here. But he stayed, right? He loved blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans so much that he stayed and held on to what he learned so he can raise up a nation, an army. You understand? So we can defend our goddamn self, man. So we know the truth, so we can live better, so we can really serve the Lord. Keep going.
Come. One from among thy brethren.
All right, that's criteria number 2. Donald Trump ain't from us.
Right.
Joe Biden damn sure ain't from us.
Right.
Even that Kamala Harris, she not one from among us. She is a heathen, you understand? She has nothing to do with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. People look at her complexion and say, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? That's a sister. No, she's not a sister. She's, her dad is some, Edomite, East Indian, Elamite, one of the two, right? And I think she got a great grandmother who's black. I think she was Jamaican. Right. Something like that. So she has a sprinkle, you know what I mean? And it's on the wrong side. So she's not even black. You think she's black, but she's not. Furthermore, she's married to a devil.
Right.
You can't trust anybody who's like, she's trying to, be an advocate for black people going home and sleeping with the devil. It don't work that way. Because all he gonna say is, listen, you trying to do too much for these niggas.
Right.
You understand? He ain't gonna let nothing listen, he's like the watchdog. He ain't gonna let too much go down. Go ahead, you was gonna say something?
Like that one. But if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black.
Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, listen, that is appalling. Can you imagine that?
God damn.
You in your crib with your gold teeth, eating your fried chicken, drinking your Faygo red pop.
Right.
You understand? Got incense burning. And he gonna say, imagine you sitting there eating fried chicken with your goals on. You are all the way a nigga. And you on the TV, he say, listen, you don't vote with me, you ain't black. You put that fried chicken down and be like, well, damn. I guess I gotta vote for him. I guess so. Go ahead.
Go. Shall thou set king over thee?
Mm-hmm.
Thou mayest not.
Mayest what?
Thou shalt not.
No.
Thou mayest not.
Mayest what?
Not.
Go ahead.
Set a stranger.
A who?
Stranger.
Go ahead.
Over thee, which is not thy brother.
Thy who?
Thy brother.
Those are the qualifications. He got to be chosen by the Most High. He got to be one from among your people. Those are the qualifications. These other cats that y'all looking at and that y'all going crazy for and spending tons and millions of, listen, just the advertising budget for all this hoopla will give blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans a better living condition. They spending billions. I can't say billions, but definitely high millions on advertising. I mean, advertisements is everywhere. You pull up on Facebook, advertising for voting. You go on internet, anywhere on the internet, advertising for voting. On your radio station, advertising for voting. Damn near anywhere you got advertisements, they advertising this voting. That's a huge advertisement budget. Take that money, put that into the community. If that's really what they want to do, all this touring that they go around, Joe Biden, he going around all America trying to get votes, take that money, give it to the black community.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you want to help black people, say, I'm going to do all my stuff online. I never understood that. Why can't you just sit there and like everything be online? Why you got to go to these different states? How about you have a representative come from every state to you? And that way it's a lot less than you traveling with a whole entourage of niggas going to spending all this money that you're getting from corporations. The whole thing is a sham, man. The whole thing is not here to help black people. But let's move on. You go ahead.
You got a question out of one.
Go ahead.
Sign Ward. Salakia, sir. If an Israelite finds truth after they have taken a heathen to wife or husband, is it a sin to leave?
It is absolutely and unfortunately a sin. You cannot leave that person, right? We got to get in the New Testament. Find me that corn power where Christ say, save fornication. You understand?
Save?
Yeah.
Save?
Yeah. I'll find it if you can't find it.
Okay.
You can't leave your spouse save or a woman. Matthew 5:32.
Damn, man.
What?
You got the fast fingers.
Hey, listen. I told you the power of Google. You better get on there. You better get on there.
Damn. Like you said, Matthew
5:32.
5:32.
This is a good question because I know this is how I remember it being broke down, right? Like there's no justification for divorce, right? A brother obviously can have multiple women, but a sister, you know, she can only be with one man. So a man cannot put away a woman unless she goes and whores on him. You know, if you a black, Hispanic, and Native American woman, you're married to a heathen, you are stuck with that man unless he puts you away. If he puts you away, you are free and clear, and thank the Lord that he did.
Right.
You understand? Thank the Lord that he did. But if you got a woman, and listen, some of these heathen women ain't letting go of that black rod. She gonna rock with you. You could call the white man the devil all you want. She's like, all right, that's fine. Head to the bedroom.
Right.
You understand? She's not trying to get rid of that. But it's unlawful to put away, to either leave your husband if you're a woman that's an Israelite, or if you're an Israelite man, to put away your woman. So let's get that scripture.
Okay. Matthew 5:22.
5:32.
Oh, it's like I was saying. Okay. Matthew chapter 5 verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a right.
Hold on. Where you at?
Oh, Salaki, I'm tripping. Salaki, other one. I jumped into 31. Salaki, other one.
You jumped up.
Go
ahead. Matter of fact, you can start at 31. Go ahead, start at 31.
Verse 31. It has been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement.
Why do how should I say that? Go ahead.
I'm gonna say because once he leave her, like, I mean, it's like basically like divorce. It's okay. She's free to go.
Okay, I'm not asking what is written there. Why did he say that you can? Why did he say it has been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorce?
Oh, Salakia, that's what the so-called Americans say today. You know?
No, that's not what he said.
Okay.
Get a mic to the brother.
Oh.
So that any other man she deal with knows that she's not tied to her husband anymore.
That's not why he said it. Like key in on the first part, it hath been said. Why is he saying that even to begin with? Go ahead, Cornbar.
Oh, because it's a law. It's been said.
That's right. To make it more succinct, Moses allowed for us to write a bill of divorcement when we was, when Israel was first starting off.
Okay.
Right. So he said, anytime you see something like it has been said or is written, that's from the Old Testament. Right. So during the Old Testament, Moses, you were allowed to write a bill of divorcement. Right. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 32. But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication.
What is fornication?
It's like, I want to say, like, unlawful sex.
Unlawful sex. That's exactly what it is. Unlawful sex, right? There's several things under unlawful sex. Could be adultery, could be bestiality, could be homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? It's all unlawful sex, fornication. Go ahead.
Cause it her to commit adultery, and
right. So that part is saying you got a woman, and she happy with you, but you not happy to work with her. You put her away. You causing her to commit adultery because now she's going to go be with another man. When the Most High didn't intend for her to be with another man when she married you, you was supposed to be the last man that she met that she was with.
Right.
That's supposed to be your woman for life. But because, you know what I'm saying, you want to put her away for whatever reason, which is what they do in the Christian church all the time. They got a woman, right? They got a wife. They start dealing with another woman on the side. Then when it get too hot and heated, the sister in love, and she wants you to leave your wife, and you like, well, I can't do that. So they put her away. When really what they should be doing is keeping both of them.
All right.
You should be keeping both those women, raising them up to serve the Lord, and be okay with it. Because you're just gonna go back and get another woman later anyway. That's all you gonna do. These deacons, y'all, I don't know what deacons got all the game. I'm just telling you, a deacon in the church got all the game because he's just getting all the women. The pastors and the deacon, they just running rampant in that church.
Right.
So keep going.
Come. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committed adultery.
Right. So again, that's not what the Most the Most High don't want a woman put away unjustly. Right now, she whores on you. Like according to the law, she should be stoned. Her and the person she had adultery with.
Right.
But of course, this is our grace period. This is time for us to get right. Right. Not to say that you should be a whore, but to say you've been a whore. Now you can stop being a whore.
Right.
Because during biblical times, right, under the authority of Yahushua, you will be stoned to death, and that's got to be a horrible death for being a whore.
All right.
So for the sister who asked the question, if you're married to a heathen man, right, you have to stay with that man, right? But listen, if for women is it's like, okay, you do what you serve the Lord above all things, right? If that heathen tells you to do something unlawful, you do not have to obey, right? If you want to come to class and and say that you're a Jew, right, or Israelite, and you want to rock fringes and you want to wear braids and you want to cook for the high holy days, do it, right? But if he's telling you to do something unlawful, don't do it. Don't celebrate Christmas. If he says, I'm going to leave you if you don't celebrate Christmas, think to yourself, Most High in Christ. Tell him, listen, I'm not celebrating Christmas, right? So you stand strong for the Lord. If you're a brother and you got a heathen woman, same thing. You come into the school, go to camp. Call the white man the devil at camp. Go to class. Rock your fringes. Grow your beard. Do everything that you can do. Do that mean go home and call your rib a devil? Don't do that.
Right.
You got to love that woman. That's your woman. Unfortunately, that's something that you stuck with. Right? You need to treat that woman like you would treat any other woman. You need to love, and like the Bible says, love your woman like Christ has loved the church. Right? So that's your lot in life. That's what you stuck with. But here's the thing: you can serve the Lord and go get another rib, and there ain't nothing unlawful about that. In fact, I would encourage you to get another rib, and maybe she'll leave, and you'll be free from her.
Right.
You understand? That's what I would do. I would immediately go get another rib. Two, 3 of them, Cap. 2, 3 of them. You see if she stick around there. She might not go anywhere. I'm just gonna tell you now. Some of these heathens is in love with black men, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So that's what it is. Like General Hyman mentioned one time. He's like, well, in the world I got tattoos. I got tattoos that I'll never show you. You'll never see my tattoos. Just make sure that your heathen spouse doesn't come around. They can't come to the school. They can't come to the high holy days. You know what I'm saying? That's just, that's your loved one at home, and that's it. We ain't got to hear about it. We ain't got to talk about it. We ain't going to look at you and say, look at this old sorry Negro. We're not going to do that. because all of us made mistakes in the world. All of us fall short, right? When we was in the world, we should all be dead according to the scriptures. Everybody that's in here watching classes should be dead according to the scriptures. Because nobody was born into the truth. Not most of there was a few people in the school that's been born into the truth, but us, for the vast majority of us, we came in, you know, we missed the Passover. We should have been dead. We're not dead, but we should have been cut off.
All right.
You know what I mean? We got heathen, a heathen mother. Guess what? We out of the nation for the 10th generation. It's several, like all these things that we did in the world, we shouldn't even have this. But again, we're under grace right now. So I hope that answers the sister's question. Let me know if it doesn't. Go ahead, Paul. You was gonna say something?
No, I was about to say, that's what you bring up, because like I said, you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, you keep coming to the school, eventually he's gonna get sick of that. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna leave.
But that don't mean, like, for a sister, if you married to Eden, that's your husband. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell you to go act wicked, because then that'll be wrong. Then I'll be telling you to do something wrong. Right? But what you can do is stand for the Lord, and that's probably gonna be a turnoff to a heathen.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Go ahead, Groom.
No, it was just surprising that I first, when you was explaining it, I thought it was just like for the men only. So
yeah, and unfortunately, it's for the sisters, because the sisters, they can't run out and get. Listen, I would say 9 times out of 10, you go get another woman, the first one is leaving. You know what I mean? So for the Akim, it's probably a little easier to deal with that. You know what I mean?
I mean, as far as like her being with the heathen, like,
yeah, no,
I would have thought she could just be like,
nah, yeah. Listen, like I said, it's unfortunate for sisters, because it seems like, at least in my mind, I may be thinking about it wrong. At least in my mind, it's a little tougher, because say I got a heathen woman. 9 times out of 10, I go get another woman, especially when I'm big old thick juicy black woman. She's gone. She's like, I'm not sticking around for this. You know what I mean? She's gone. Right. But a sister, like, she can't go. It's unlawful for her to go get another man, and that would be whorish anyway. But she gotta, that's her husband for life.
right?
You gotta catch.
I don't think I've ever seen a sister who's married to a devil come into school. I don't think I've ever seen it.
I know I haven't.
Right.
I think it'll be too tough. You know what I mean? It'd be hard on a sister to come around and see all these warriors, then go home and you got that pig meat. You like, well, ugh. Right. You know what I mean? You probably just dying on the inside every night. But listen, Lord be with the sisters that is. I still encourage you to come into the school and serve the Lord. You understand? Don't let that deter you. You know what I mean? Lord willing, he'll make a way for, it'll work out. But I'm not praying for that. That's not something that I should do. I'm just saying, come and serve the Lord, and pray to the Lord that it all work out in your favor. That's all I can say. I never say go and, be evil to that heathen, or, smack him in the face or shoot him. Don't do none of that. Go and be a good wife, but come in here and serve the Lord. Right. You understand? All right. Was that it on her? All right, let's get back, man. We didn't
Romans. I think
no, we good. Okay. We answered his question. Let's go back to the history, right?
Okay, Calvin. One.
I'll take a listen.
I can start at the beginning of the second paragraph. Like go on. I can go down.
Take me down to it says in the Middle Samhain in the Middle Ages. So just to recap for anybody that might have joined class late, we pulled up the history of Samhain, right? So this is an ancient Celtic holiday where they worshipped the harvest on the 31st, on October 31st to November 1st, right? And the main theme was the barrier between the physical world and the spiritual world was broken at that time, or down at a time where they can get more interaction with people from the other world, right? So again, both those, that timeline as far as that whole theme of monsters, ghouls, goblins, you being able to talk to the dead and interact with the dead, that's all the theme of Halloween. So this ancient Celtic holiday is really the roots of Halloween, right? And we're gonna get a little bit more. So let's take me to the section where it says Middle Ages.
One. As the Middle Ages progressed, so did the celebration of the fire festival. Bonfires, known as
I'm not gonna even.
Some Gideon.
Yeah, that's too wild.
Which were more personal. Salem.
Samhain.
Samhain.
It's pronounced Samhain.
Samhain. Fires near the farms became a tradition for pottery to protect families from fairies and witches.
Right. So again, this is we read the scripture in the New Testament where Paul said, I perceive you men of Athens, you're superstitious. Black people, Hispanics and Native Americans, because of these pagan traditions, we've also become very superstitious. We practice these these pagan holidays, and then like we believe in superstition. You cut the light off when you're young, and you just know that pile of clothes is a demon waiting to get you as soon as you close your eyes. Like we become very superstitious with the things. You go watch a scary movie with some jack-o'-lantern head trying to get you. It's like, oh, I'm terrified. I got night sweats and all this stuff. Like all this stuff comes from, things like this, these pagan traditions. And it's been embellished by Esau. He continues to build and make money off all this stuff. Like I said, we talked about it earlier. They sell more candy this time of year than any other time of the year.
Right.
Is the candy, if you don't sell candy during this time, you don't make your yearly budget.
Right.
Like, again, it's something outside of what this class is about, but the economics behind these holidays is ridiculous. Think about Christmas. People don't pay their rent in December because of Christmas.
Right.
Or in January. They're more than likely they ain't paid their rent in January. You start off their new year. You start off the new year in the hole because of Christmas. You done went and spent, hundreds of dollars on a snot-nosed kid. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that. Not all kids are snot-nosed, but you get the point. Go ahead. Let's keep going.
Carved turnips called jack-o'-lantern.
Called what?
Jack-o'-lantern.
Jack-o'-lanterns, right? You see that today. People do that today, except they do it with pumpkins, not turnips. They use pumpkins.
Right.
They carve the pumpkin, they open it up, put a candle in it, set it on the porch.
Right.
It adds to the whole festive look of this wicked, pagan holiday.
All right.
Go ahead.
Began to appear attached by strings and to stick and embedded with coal. Later, Irish tradition switched to pumpkins.
Right. So now you see the incorporation of other than how they changed it up. It was with turnips. Now, a little later on, the Irish said, you know what, let's get rid of this turnip. Let's make it a pumpkin. So it's all starting to come together now. You basically see Halloween now. Let's keep going.
In Wales, men tossed burning wood at each other in violent games and set off fireworks.
Right.
In northern England, men parade with noisemakers.
So again, this was all part of the celebration. They had all kind of traditions. They would toss firewood at each other. You understand?
Go.
All right, so let's get take me down to the part where it says Christian Samhain.
I think we should build 2 big folding signs or 3 small signs.
This weekend? 3 of the small. Because the 2 is on, we're not going to put them in front of us.
Oh, okay, they'll be on sides. Okay.
As Christianity gained a foothold in pagan communities.
Hold on. Read that again.
As Christianity gained a foothold in pagan communities.
So listen, this is the whole thing about Christianity. These pagan holidays were so popular, people would be like, well, just like how, people won't join the truth because they want to smoke weed.
Right.
People wouldn't be Christians because they didn't want to give up these pagan holidays.
Right.
And so what Christianity did, you can go back and read how Christianity incorporated itself in these pagan holidays. So instead of like saying you're going to be a Christian and we're going to get rid of your holiday, like it was more like this: come be a Christian and we're just incorporated with Christianity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Church leaders attempted to reframe Samhain as a Christian celebration.
What did I just say? Keep going.
The first attempt was by Pope Boniface in the 5th century. He moved the celebration to May 13 and specifies as a day celebrating saints and
martyrs.
Right.
So what again, you'll see this throughout history with all these pagan holidays, they try to incorporate it and make it about Christian things. So what he tried to do, he tried to make it about martyrs, and he tried to make it about saints, right? So then you see the incorporation of Christianity with paganism. Christianity is pagan anyway, but you even the more base pagan holidays.
The fire festival of October and November, however, did not end with this decree.
Mm-hmm.
In the 9th century, Pope Gregory moved the celebration back to the time of the fire festival.
Right, so he moved it back to October 31st, November 1st. Go ahead.
But declared it's All Saints Day. On November 1st, All Souls Day would follow on November 2nd.
So you saw that it fall off, right? It dropped the day. So it went from October 31st through the 1st, November 1st. And then the first pope, he tried to change it to May 13th. Then another pope came behind him and said, you know what? We're going to make the celebration October 31st. Then on November 1st is All Saints Day. And they had something on November 2nd, which I never heard of, All Souls Day. So anyway, you see the progression, right? All right, now let's get this last part where it says, now this is Halloween, right? We got the history on Samhain, the traditions that they did, the dates that they celebrated, the whole thing behind the physical world and the spiritual world, right? Like I said, the costumes have really changed now because kids want to be superheroes. Marvel done really made it so all right, everybody want to be Thor or Hulk or Black Panther or Spider-Man or something. But when I was a little kid, it was still kind of costumes then too. But I imagine when my parents was younger, or maybe the generation in between mine and my parents, it was ghosts, goblin, ghouls, scary things, witches.
Right.
You know what I mean? Things like that. You gonna get?
Yeah, all right, words I got roll.
Yeah, we should write that.
All right, words, little person.
All right, so now the theme is just slightly different, but their whole thing was this whole physical world and spiritual world. All right. All right, let's get the rest of that on Halloween. Then we're gonna close it up. Before we get this last part on here, we got any questions?
About Halloween?
In general.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when did the whole I don't know if it matters, but the whole child pedophilia come into the Halloween kidnapping children?
This ain't gonna say nothing about it, but I imagine that's always been going on. You out anytime you got helpless kids out, you know what I'm saying? Well, probably we probably gonna get into it in this section because this is more about what we just covered was more about the history, the practices, what started, like I said, the dates. Now it's modernized, right? So now it's going to talk about the trick-or-treating. So I imagine as soon as that started, that's when you're going to have that because kids are out by themselves in the dark, dressed up in costumes. People easily snatch up kids. This has always been going on, you know what I mean? So this will be around that time. Let's get that part. We got a question?
No, it's like
go ahead.
If I may, in the Greeks, you go back, the Romans, they didn't slept with little boys and girls. They've been doing that. That's something that the Greeks and all them. That's what they do.
No, but he's talking about. He's talking about. It's big now with all the kids being snatched up. Like this is, Halloween to me is open season to if you want a kid. If you're a pedophile, it's damn near open season for you. Because if a parent send their kids out by themselves, who knows? Come on in. You got to come in. I got a bunch of candy in here. And them kids never make it out. They in the basement somewhere been, raped and chopped up.
Right.
So, you know, this whole, I think this section really gonna get into the trick or treating part.
Come. Halloween. Neither new holiday did away with the pagan aspect of the celebration. October 31st became known as All Hallow Eve or Halloween.
Right. You see that Hallows Eve just changed into Halloween.
And contained much of the traditional pagan practice before being adopted in the 19th century America through Irish immigrants, bringing their tradition across the ocean.
Read that part again.
And contained much of the traditional pagan practice before being adopted in the 19th century America through Irish immigrants, bringing their tradition across the ocean.
Right. So obviously, when you talk about Celtic, you talk about the Irish, right? That's their whole, you know, their whole background, ancestry, lineage. They had those same Celtic practices. So when the Irish came over here, it was probably already in America, but it became popular when they came over in the 19th century, right? Because they brought the traditions with it. Like, it's like you make a dish, right? You got a dish online and you make it. For instance, you know what I'm saying, roti. I fell in love with it down in Trinidad. You making it, but then when somebody from Trinidad comes and they make it, you like, oh wow, now I get the whole culture and the spirit behind it. I'm making it, I'm just following the recipe. Somebody that's gonna come here and make it, they're not following the recipe. They know how to do it from scratch.
Right.
So just think of it like, you know, when the Irish came here, it might have been here, but when they came, they brought the whole culture and everything.
Right.
Go ahead.
Trick or treating is said to have been derived from ancient Irish and Scottish practice in the night leading up to Samhain.
No,
Salem.
No. Samhain. They told you how to pronounce it earlier. Samhain.
Samhain. In Ireland, murmuring was the practice of putting on costumes, going door to door, and singing songs to the dead. Cakes were given as payment.
So now you get the whole, here's the trick or treating coming into play, right? So we didn't cover basically everything that is Halloween.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's all based on this.
Halloween pranks also have a tradition in Samhain. Though in the ancient celebration, tricks were typically blamed on fairies.
Right. So that, again, they were superstitious. So there's like, man, somebody broke my window. Oh yeah, it was a fairy that did that out.
Right,
don't even sweat. Knowing that I hate you and I busted your window out.
Right,
oh yeah,
right.
a fairy did that. Any more?
No,
I think that's it. So that's a good, you know, again, you don't have to go to history.com. There's a lot of websites that you can go to. You can pull up the history of Samhain and see how Halloween started, how it progressed, the people who influenced it. You know what I mean? Obviously, it says something about the popes trying to change the day. So it basically showed the whole gamut of, you know, start to finish and how it ended up being Halloween.
Right.
So if you want some more history, like you want to read the history, just Google it. It's called, tell them how it's spelled, Compar.
Samhain. Samhain. Samhain.
All right, so Google that and pull up the history, or you can just say, "What's the history of Halloween?"
Right.
And Samhain's gonna come up. It's gonna come up. It's gonna show you, you know, how it started, the ancient Celtic traditions and holidays, and all the paganism behind it. And the part that's heavy to me is how Christianity incorporated into Christianity.
Right.
You know what I mean? They did that with many of the holidays. I think Valentine's Day was the same way. Valentine's Day, it wasn't something where, you know, little kids give out little Valentine's Day cards with candies. It was like that image of that heart is a woman's butt when she's bent over. Right. So it's a lot of paganism in that as well, but they just incorporate all this into Christianity or an acceptable form to people, as opposed to saying, yeah, this is the worship of, you know, whores. It's changed from, worshiping whores to being, in love, and a time to love your loved one and all this other stuff. All right. So that's it on that. Let's get a scripture. Was it I hate and despise your feast days?
What kind of one? I want to say Amos 5 and
supposedly be interacting with the dead, and you eating candy and doing all this nonsense. That is all garbage. Read it again.
Kind. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Right. And you come together, right, and thanking the Lord for that. And this is not so much geared toward Halloween because it's more of a kid holiday. But like I said, all these other holidays is coming up. Thanksgiving's coming up. Christmas comes up. New Year's coming up. Most High don't give a damn about none of that because ain't none of it for him.
Right.
Ain't none of it glorifying him. Ain't none of it bringing him honor. It's all a bunch of nonsense, right? It's vanity is all it is. All right, any more?
The other one.
All right. Hold on one second.
Unless you want me to go to 22.
What it say?
Though ye offer me burnt offerings.
No, that's the one. Let's go to Leviticus, the 23rd chapter.
One.
Go ahead.
Verse 1.
Yep.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord.
Concerning what?
Concerning the feast of the Lord.
Concerning the what?
Concerning the feast of the Lord.
These Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, these are your feasts. These are the days that you celebrate. These are the things you should be, being happy to have and teaching your kids about. Instead of teaching them about, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, you should be teaching your kids about Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, or Purim in the book of Esther, or the Feast of the Dedication, which is in the Apocrypha, in the Maccabees. You understand? That's what you should be teaching your kids, but instead, you teaching them about the celebration of the harvest and fire festivals and talking to the dead and dressing up and cutting jack-o'-lanterns, and you got them celebrating all these pagan traditions, which means nothing to the Lord. All you're doing is angering the Lord because he hates and despises your feast days. This whole time of year is so full of disgustingness, if that's even a word. So full of disgustingness that the Most High is probably shake it every year. You probably just shake his head like, man, these niggas is so stiff-necked. Like, do some research, man, and see what this stuff is about before you call yourself celebrating it. All right? Any more?
Oh
no, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to point out that this is where well, no, go ahead, get verse 2.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
A holy convocation. Holy means to be separate. A convocation is a gathering. This is a holy or separate gathering that we supposed to be having when we come together during this time. And the Most High is going to break it all down. Get that last part.
Even these are my feasts.
These are, I'm glad you emphasized this is the Most High's feast right here. You going and you looking, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, all that garbage, that's all, that's not, the Lord ain't with that. You understand? So you just learn and just know now that the things that you celebrating has nothing to do with the Most High. Christmas has nothing to do with the Most High. Thanksgiving has nothing to do with the Most High. Halloween damn sure ain't got nothing to do with the Most High.
Right.
You understand? So that's pretty much it on that. Any more questions online? Go ahead.
Simon Ward said, sir, is it a sin watching movies that have been pagan scenes or paranormal movies?
Hold on, so read it again.
Sir, is it a sin watching movies that may have pagan scenes or paranormal movies?
like if you're talking, tell her type in was it Shauna? Did you say Shauna?
No.
Type in, okay. So really you're not supposed to look at another person's nakedness, but as far as like you know, ghosts and ghouls and goblins and they doing seances, it ain't, you know, ain't no sin against that. You ain't doing anything wrong by watching a movie. Like if you want to watch a scary movie, watch a scary movie. You know what I mean? You're not doing anything wrong. Like I would be careful with some of the sexual content and some of this stuff, you know, because you're really not supposed to look at the nakedness of another person, right? So say I'm watching a movie, like, or watching a TV show like Power, I got to be careful with it because sometimes you be watching Power, you got titties pop up on the screen, like, okay, that's, you know, go ahead and look past that part and get back to the storyline. But no, I mean, you could watch movies. There ain't no sin against that. You know, you want to watch a scary movie, go ahead. It's all false and fake anyway, right? So I wouldn't sweat it. I would just be careful on the sexual content with some of this stuff. Hopefully that answer. Let me know if that doesn't answer your question, Shauna. All right. Read her question again one more time.
Oh, sorry, Coco. She said, Salaki, sir, is it a sin watching movies that may have pagan scenes?
Okay.
Or paranormal movies?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't sweat it. Let me know if that answers your question. You had a question?
No, I was going to say, I didn't know that was a thing.
What you mean?
Watching sex scenes in movies and stuff.
Yeah, so let's see if I can. Well, it's a breakdown. It's a scripture, not a breakdown. It's a scripture, and it tells you the nakedness that you can't see. Right? Let's get that. Leviticus, the 18th chapter.
I think it's 6. Chapter 6 and 7.
Yeah, you can start at 6.
Come. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 6. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord.
All right, so you look in Leviticus the 18th chapter, and it goes down a long list of nakedness, you know, of people that you shouldn't see their nakedness, right? So in a movie, right, you just want to have a right spirit on you. Say you watching a movie and some breasts pop up real quick, you didn't know it was in the scene. I mean, what you gonna do? Right. But now they got breast on there for 10 minutes. You probably want to fast forward through that. Right. It's something that, you know, that woman belongs to another man. You know what I mean? She shouldn't be America. It'll be a time in Israel where like you won't see breasts in this world. You won't see breasts on TV. Like, because women are supposed to dress in modest apparel. Right. You're not supposed to be walking around seeing a woman's breasts. Right. So the wickedness of this empire, you can see all the breasts you want on TV. Right. And if you watching a porno, that's again, you watching the nakedness of another man's woman. That man that's on the screen right there pumping and sweating on that woman, that's his woman. Even though he gonna get rid of her by the end of the night, and you know what I'm saying, because she's a whore. She's going back to her real husband. So this empire has us all jammed up on what we should and shouldn't be doing. But you know, you shouldn't be watching porno. Right? You shouldn't be watching, like you're watching too many sex scenes on TV. You got to be careful with that. A lot of this is covered up, so you too wild. They just kissing and they under the covers. You too wild. I mean, you ain't seeing nothing that ain't, you know, nothing that's unlawful, right? But you seeing a lot of nakedness on the show. Like, not saying like that you should be like a, just throw the whole show away. Just be careful about what you're watching on TV, and try not to indulge in too much of that. Now, sometimes it just pop up. You got breasts everywhere. What you gonna do? Is try to fast forward through that part. But like as far as porno, a lot of you seeing Not only a man's rod, you seeing a man's woman, his woman, you seeing all her nakedness too. He's gonna say something.
So would that mean that masturbation is unlawful as well?
Masturbation is not unlawful.
Not unlawful.
Right. Now, if you sitting there watching all the porn you want, and breast is everywhere and swinging and vagina everywhere, and you getting off, you that's unlawful. But if maybe you got, maybe you want to do a little extracurricular, you can pull up one of them videos if you want, or think about your woman, whatever you need to do. Maybe you and your woman apart for a month. You're like, well, I got a desire. There's no sin against that. That's what we read in Romans 4:15. There's no sin against masturbation, so you can masturbate. Now, if you masturbating and watching porn at the same time, then you're in the wrong. You understand? But if you, taking care of yourself, ain't no law against that. Usually people ask that question though, because it's usually in conjunction with I ain't gonna go too deep in it, but usually you watching something while you're doing it. You know what I mean? And so that's why that's the hard thing. It's like, okay, now you got to figure out other avenues to, take care of yourself while, without watching that kind of stuff. All right. So I'm gonna end it now because I got a call I got to get on. Any other questions online?
No.
Any other questions in the room? Most High in Christ. All right. With that, I'm gonna pass the class to Precinct Officer Kwame.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18-21. Malachi 3-8-10 means tenth in Hebrew. Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation, the Feast of Dedication. I want to say it's Feast of Dedication. The 25th day of the 9th month. But once December, we'll say December 20th. Still I got one. The Feast of Dedication.
No, that's old. That's
okay. Old. Well, once we come closer, we get the dates, and the Passover still to be announced. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. And with that, a module, which means to rise. Upon what happened dumb, to turn and face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabashamaya. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'a. Va'azayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawuk. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathan. Lanawa. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Wasalakwa Kawafi Nawu. Kawawafi Nawu. Wala Tabayan now. Bona sa one. Above. I was shy now. My young. Rod. Kajak. The cut. Amalaku. Wala alu. Wala part. Nabalayim. Amen.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
The power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashim. Yahushua. Baba Kasha. The Thamanawa. Hakat. La Baba'at. Kal Magalat. Kal Madawa. Hakat. That's the heart. Hamat Hazarayim. Hakat. Hakwatiyim. Hamatiyim. Hakat. Amakawat. Hamatama Allah. The Garshon. Ba'ashim. Yahusha. Duwad Aman.
Prayer for the Akat, the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahushua? Why Maka Allah? Why Masazab Bayad. Alawat Yahanna. Ha Alawatiyim. Ha Sarayim. Ha Kwasazayim. Hi Kaya Yayim. Wakwatiyim. Yahweh. Ba'ashim. Yahusha. Duwad Aman.
Prayer for the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahanna. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Anointing prayers in the Hebrew. Yabaraka Yahweh. Why Shamarka. Jar. Pinyahu. Ayaka. Wayakanka. Yeshar. Yahweh. Pinyahu. Ayaka. Wayashim. Lakat. Shalom. Yahweh. Ba'ashim. Yahusha. Barak. Rapat. Magun. Hagun.
All the destroyed of Israel.
Done.
All the destroyed of Israel.
All the destroyed of Israel.
Done.
Ba'ashim. Yahushua. Duwad Aman.
What we just said in the English. Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee. And be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee. And give thee peace. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect. I.S.U.P.K curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers and the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake as they come. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always. So be it.
Sorry. Let's read the turn. Courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel. Amadum Sabat. Amadum. For what? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shabbat Rakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Rakatah.
Yazamatai. Sorry. Courtesy salute to the sisters watching online. Men of Israel. Amadum Sabat. Amadum. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatah Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. Yazamatai. Class dismissed.